PV or PV?
Hello, I'm here, Star. Hold on, I know I'm running a little late. Wait till I pop up. Hello. No, it was weird. I don't know what happened. That was supposed. Oh, that's right. I did schedule it for 15 minutes early to get Bob here, but he hasn't been here, so I'm just waiting. How y'all doing? I got the hubby here. We're waiting for Bob to come on in. How you doing? Hopefully he knows we're on Eastern Standard Time. I know he was in Florida, or maybe he's traveling. I don't know. I just hope he's not off of the Central Time like you are. How y'all doing? Got hubby here. Go wave. See, I can't see you, baby. You have to move. I'm not going to look at the hand. Get over here.
Okay, these questions.
We're not asking the questions until Bob gets here, babe.
No, I'm reading them. I don't understand them.
I mean, you need to bring them. You need to come over a little bit more. Come over a little bit more.
I can read them and then look over. Let me go get my hat.
He's got to get pretty.
But I know how.
Oh yeah, he got a new hat from the boy, and the boy is sleeping still. Had a long night. We didn't get to sleep until almost 4 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. How y'all doing? I am live, right? I haven't seen anybody say anything. Okay, what's going on? Star, are you here? Oh, there I am. Yeah, I was wondering if I was live or not. I'm trying to get everything ready. I'm waiting for Blue Wave. How's it going, Star? Yeah, almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I was hating life. So yeah, I'm just waiting on Blue Ocean. I told him to. There you are. Hello, Blue. Can you see the link in the chat above, up there? Just hit that link and I'll bring you in. Hi, David. Carlos is here. How you doing? Yeah, just hit that link if you see it. Hi, David. So I got 1, 2. There you are.
Florida keys.
Yeah, he's in the keys.
Ooh.
Hello.
We're gonna have to get closer to. We're gonna have to cuddle up here.
Yeah, we gotta really get close and personal, right?
There we go. Hello, Carlos. Hi, Renee. How are you?
You're doing good. Thank you.
Doing good. How's your travels?
Very good. Thank you. Let's go a little bit more that way. Just right there. That should be enough.
We're in the Keys right now, so it's nice and warm here.
Oh, I bet. It was a
There
little
you go,
chilly
that's
last night, but not bad. Not bad. But I did my first live on the phone. It was so dark. I was like, I got to figure out how I'm going to do it.
You were at the horror nights?
Yeah, the Halloween Horror Nights with my son. J-Dog, hello. You made 1,000. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations, J-Dog. We're still trying to work on our first 1,000.
Yeah,
You'll get there, believe me. You'll get there. It was hard work. It really is. But now I'm working on the watch hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
Carlos, how's that Mustang coming along?
Well, finally finished it. It runs great. The wife doesn't understand why the check engine light is still on. Of course, the light is going to come on. I took the thing apart. And the only way to do it on a Mustang is you got to do it with the reader. So we're going to have to.
Right.
bring it to a garage or buy a reader. So hopefully she'll buy me a reader.
There you go.
Another toy. Another toy.
But they did a lot of work to it. Took out the intake manifold, changed spark plugs, everything in it. The injectors, the coils, the thermostat, the
Oh
gasket.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did a lot of work. No
yeah,
doubt.
it sounds like when it was brand new.
Yeah, it does sound good, but when you see little lights come on, you kind of get worried, don't you?
Yeah, but the check engine light, you know, I've had a car once where that was on, and I drove forever with it on it.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, and the problem with the Mustang is you gotta do it with the reader. You just
Sure.
do it with the key and the pedal.
Right.
Could
Well,
have to-
you've got chip all ready to go now, right?
yeah.
So that's gonna be
That's
fun.
what we're
What
waiting
a great,
for.
Actually, the bars were supposed to be here, the extended bars for the dually. They didn't arrive.
They were supposed to be here last night.
I don't know.
Well,
So-
we're really excited for you guys. That's going to be a fun journey to follow.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I've been looking at it for about 5 months now. I want to take it out.
Sure. Well, yeah, you did a great job on it. It came out so beautiful. Good for you too.
Yeah. The inside, I really like the inside, and that was all her.
Well, it came out good inside and out. I think guys did a wonderful job on it.
I made it home. You know, you got to have home on the road, you know.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
That's true. That's how we did this. Like this backsplash right here, we put all that on. That's actually real stone.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
It's just real thin. It's about 5 pounds worth of stone. You know.
Wow,
So
it looks really good. It looks really
yeah,
good.
it came out real nice. So
Yeah, it's just peel and stick pieces you get from Home Depot. So that was
Okay.
our first project.
I know
here.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. That's what we did. We put the peel and stick on the backsplash.
Yeah.
It brightened it up a lot. It brightened it up.
Yeah, put your own personal touches.
Turn this
Yep.
just a little bit.
But yeah, your Wi-Fi is doing good. Do you have
Yeah,
like?
the wife.
Are you doing?
We're not. We're on my hotspot still. We're in the Florida Keys, so we're sitting in the trailer, and we're not doing any uploading. That's the big
Yeah.
thing. Like
Oh,
last time I joined you, I was uploading a video at the time.
Yeah, I was buffering last night, and I shouldn't have been buffering last night. But first time, you know, I'm going to start doing more on my phone so I can get used to it, because when we're traveling, that's the only way I'm going to do lives. Maybe I can try and do it on my computer, but I don't know.
Right. Well, we may actually be able to meet in person sometime before you leave. You know, because we're going
That would be
to.
nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But not at the Keys. We're not planning going down there in the near future.
Yeah. No, Debbie's mother lives in Sanford.
Oh, okay.
So, and we go up and visit her frequently. So I don't see why we couldn't stop by and say, hey, on the way. You know, we stay at
You
Blue
are a
Springs.
Thousand Trails member. You can stay in Orlando. We're right there.
Right. And down here, we weren't able to use our Thousand Trails because we're out of the system for 2 weeks. We just stayed at Thousand Trails and Encore. And or in St. Petersburg, Encore, they're all over Florida, but Thousand Trails has only 2 locations in Florida. So if we go to an Encore, we're out of the system for 4 days, but we can stay 4 days in any Thousand Trails and just go park to park. As long
with
as
the membership we have.
with the membership we have, right?
Yeah,
I,
we
I
have.
don't know that we'll renew at Thousand Trails because we
It's
use
worth
Passport
it.
America.
Hello, living the good life. I like your new name.
Hey, how you doing there, Monique and Will? How are you?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I like their channel.
Yeah,
They've got a. Yeah, anyone here who hasn't seen Living the Good Life RV'er needs to go check that channel out. It's
Yeah, they're
really
awesome.
good. This
They're
is a couple that's just drove to California from Florida, and they're going to buy a fifth wheel toy. I'm sorry, a travel trailer toy hauler, and they're going to go full time. So
They're shopping for it now.
they're still shopping for it. They pretty much picked it, though, if I'm correct. Isn't that right, Monique.
Yeah.
But that's going to be another channel that's going to be really exciting to follow when they get going.
Yep.
Down at the West Coast, there are a lot of thousand trails.
Yeah.
West Coast, when you come to Texas, there is a lot. Florida are some, and then up the East Coast, there are a few others.
But in the middle states now.
No,
Yeah,
not in
and
the
that-
middle of the country.
And another thing that we found when we went to Oregon and back, we only stayed in a few thousand trails. What we found the problem was not only they weren't necessarily where we were going, but sometimes as we were coming down the coast and we wanted to stay at one, we would have had to go 30 or 50 miles out of the way to get to one of their parks.
Yes.
And that was
That's
so-
the only bad thing about it. But the thing is it's so secluded and quiet.
Yeah, we liked Snowflower. That was one of theirs, and that was up there in by Lake Tahoe.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Snowflower RV park is an encore.
Yes.
1,000 trails.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
1,000
Yeah.
trails.
Yeah, that's 1,000 trails, and that's if you're ever in Northern California, that's a nice one to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a pretty
there.
There.
We stayed there.
Oh, you've stayed there before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
I picked up a lot of cones because the
Burn.
cones over there are huge. Now you throw some cones into the fire, I just
Good
lights
startup.
right up.
Good
It
startup.
smells so good there in that forest. It smells like pine and cedar.
They were trying to put, this was hilarious. Okay, they give us our site, right? You don't go and search for your site there, okay?
We did. They sent us to search for our own site.
Really? Because the
Yeah.
time that maybe they learned their lesson maybe after us, because it was hilarious. They were trying to put a 45-foot probably in a 25-foot area.
Oh no.
And we looked at that and I said, we ain't going to be able to fit in there. It was a pull through, but the thing is I would have been in the middle of the road on both sides. So I parked it way in the very back and I said, okay, we're going to have this spot. And, they started arguing with us, but I said, listen, there's no way I can park my rig in that little spot that you gave us. So we were.
But I love the lake. The lake
Oh,
was
yeah, the
so peaceful. And then there was a whole bunch of artists painting the lake on the mountains. And they allowed us to stand behind them to watch them paint. That was
Right.
Did you go look at the ruins over there too?
No,
We did
didn't make
not.
it to that.
It was a nice hike. Hello, Marad. How you doing? It's awesome. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start these questions so that we don't have to tie your time up. You're in beautiful Key West. I know you probably got plans. Okay, so Charlie's going to read them for us.
Hang on a second.
If you mute the other one, you'll be fine. Just keep.
Okay, we lost a little bit there. We're back. We're back now. Can you hear
Okay.
us? Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're fine.
Hang on one
Oh,
moment. Hang on
we can't
one
hear
moment.
you.
Hang on. All right, we're back.
All right. Yeah. Hello. No, you were still on. We still see you, but you couldn't hear us. But yeah. Okay. So he's going to ask the
Okay,
question.
here goes the first question. What is each of these jobs setting up camp, and what do you do first?
Okay, the very first thing we do after backing into the spot is I get out and check the electric. That's the first thing we do because we've twice had issues with electric. So I don't want to be pulling out cords and anything and opening up anything if we have to move. So that's the very first thing we do is check electric. If the electric checks out, then I start doing the outside.
And once he gets the electric set up, I turn on the AC. That's got to be one of the first things.
Turn on the
Yeah.
Start getting that air conditioning
Then
going.
he does his thing on the outside, and I unload anything from the truck that goes on the inside, and I get the
So-
inside all set up. And
So the first thing I'll do after I check electrics, I get the power hooked up, then I get the water hooked up. And once the water's hooked up, I ask Debbie if there's any water coming in the trailer because we had that happen once. So and once we know that everything's good there, then I start to unhitch and set up chocks and get a setup on the outside. She does the inside.
yeah, I bring in all the computers and the cameras and the phones and all that, and just get the inside ready.
That's a great tip there, especially about the water.
Oh yeah.
I don't turn the water on unless she's inside because,
Make sure everything's shut off.
yeah, sometimes
Right.
it and you leave one of them open.
Or they rattle while you're traveling. Sometimes they can be loose and wiggle open. You know?
Right. Well, we actually had a fitting come loose on us on our first trip, on our first day to Oregon. And when I turned the water on, you couldn't see the leak, but all of a sudden there was water in the trailer.
Yeah.
And Debbie goes, "Hey, we've got water coming." I immediately shut the water off, and then I had to go into the pass-through storage below and into the water pump to see where the fitting had come loose. And it was just a finger-tighted thread that I was able to tighten down and fix it, but it could have created a much worse problem.
It could be a problem. Okay, so number two.
Hi,
What
Ben.
is one thing that you really, really hate about RVing?
Could be anything.
Okay. There's nothing I hate about RVing. My least favorite thing to do would be the black tank hookup. It's and unhooking. So I don't like messing with the black tank very much, and probably the stabilizing blocks. And the reason I say that is because I have 12-inch 2x4s that I set up, and sometimes I have to stack them 8 high or so many high, and that takes a lot of back and forth to truck moving these short 2x4s. So I'd say stabilizing's one of them, and definitely messing with the black hose. I don't like that, but maybe one day we get a compost toilet and don't have to mess with that anymore.
There you go. There you go.
And that's a great tip there. We shouldn't use the word hate. Should have said
No, that's okay.
Well, see, the reason why I said hate is because there's several things that I can say, like nosy neighbors when you're pulling into a site, or they complain about you having your dog on a leash outside when you're getting ready to go walk them, or stuff like that.
Yeah, we've been lucky there. Now we've only twice in all our RVing have had bad neighbors, and we'll get to one of them later on. But recently it was in Arkansas. We had a neighbor who thought that our picnic table was his parking spot. So he literally parked right up to our picnic table. And I had asked him to move, and he came out, "Why do I need to move?" And I go, "Well, do you see where your satellite dish is on the other side of your trailer? That's your spot, like where your car is on this side of the trailer is our side." Side. And he was nice. Later on, he came over, he apologized, goes, "Yeah, you were right." No, but other than that, we've never had an issue with anyone out there. Everyone's been so great. And he even was a good guy, too. He was here from Florida, too, it turned out. And he was a good guy. So. But that's the only real issue that we ever had to talk to someone and kind of a disagreement.
For me, it's all the preparation, getting ready to go on a trip. Because we're not full-time. We have a home base. And I'm sure you guys are going through that now, getting ready to go to Alaska, being gone for so long. Just getting ready. It's pretty hectic, but once we're on the road, I love it.
Yeah, I understand that situation because we have to batten down the hatches just in case there's a hurricane when we're traveling.
Right. Storm shutters, put them all up and stuff. Right.
Yeah. Fortunately, we have a whole bunch of camera system. Cameras. We have a very good camera system, and we're able to check it from the road and see what the house looks like. Like 2 years ago, the hurricanes, we were in Utah, but we were able to monitor the house through the camera system.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good to have.
And plus, it has motion detectors. We know if somebody's walking up to our porch or our front porch or our back porch, anything. So it's like Fort Knox.
Right. Well, you're in a gated community, aren't you?
We are not in a gated community.
Okay.
But we do have somebody that comes by and checks the house. Next door neighbors keeps an eye on it. They have contact. But if anything does come up, our phone's alarm. So
our son's home with our house when we're gone too, so that's nice.
Yeah, we have great neighbors. They're the best.
Yeah.
We're fortunate that way too.
Yes, we are.
But
so
we're also thinking about selling the property and going and buying 5 acres of land.
Oh, I thought you were going to buy the 5 acres in additional to your property.
No, we are in a subdivision, so we can't have beauty here.
Uh-huh.
So Beauty's in storage, and what I want is 5 acres of land and clear it, and then be able to put it like a landing pad for Beauty to sit on, and another
And a
landing
house.
and a little tiny house,
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly
perfect.
what we want to do. We want to sell our house in Naples, and we would like to move to probably, we have 3 states in mind: Oregon, New Mexico, or Arizona. And then we would like to buy some land, put a little house there, a little cottage, and
Right.
do a lot of traveling, and just have
There's
that as a
Right.
home
a
base.
couple places I like too, but we're looking at the tax situation.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, it's something to
Yeah,
consider.
yeah, that's something
Mhm.
to
so we're
consider.
staying in Florida. We decided we're going to
Yeah.
buy 5 acres here in Florida, but up
Yeah.
north, more up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The other choice for us is Tennessee, but it's too cold for.
Yeah, I have to consider the weather too, because I can't handle cold weather
I
either.
can deal with those cold weather days anymore.
No.
All right, let's see. What is the third one? What
What do you love about RVing? What's your most favorite thing about RVing?
I'm a journeys person, so for me it's just the journey. But it's I'm more about the journey than the destination. And I would even say, it's going to sound crazy, but Route 66. You know, I mean, we've been to the Petrified Forest, the Redwood Forest, we've been to Malibu, but cruising Route 66, and we haven't done the whole route, but we've done the southern part of it, and that was just so awesome across the desert and all, and stopping into some of those original Route 66 era motels and gas stations. I loved it. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we miss it already. We're making some good memories.
Yeah, when I
and-
say the memories, it's
Yeah.
true, because I'll watch some of our videos from that Oregon trip and I get choked up. I just go,
Yeah,
God, I
I
miss
miss
it
it.
already. Some of
Yeah.
the stuff that we did.
I
For me,
love
it's the
Winslow.
destination.
love Route 66? Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
All the nostalgia there. But
So
I
like
like the destinations and seeing all the different landscapes. That's what I love. And
Yep.
nature. So.
the drive.
Exactly. For me, it's the drive. Going from point A to point B. Once we get to point B, then it's work time for about an hour or two.
Then we
Right.
should try to meet people, from that area or
Right.
whatnot.
Hi, Go Fish Go Fish Off. It's good to see you too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not
you will.
ignoring y'all. We see you, and so if you see me going like this, because I don't want to interrupt his talking or whatever. All right, what's the next one?
Their most favorite place they have been to while traveling.
In your RV.
Okay. Then the last one's with the memories. This will be the Route 66. Yeah.
No, like destination, like one thing on Route
If I
66.
were to say the one place we've been to, I would say Needles, California, because it was on the Route 66, the Fender's Motel. It was 115 degrees when we were there. It was located on the Colorado River, and it was a Fender's Motel, which is from the 50s, and I really, really enjoyed that particular spot. But I guess I could also say the Petrified Forest was really cool. So.
I love the Oregon coast with all the rocks and the water. You come around that turn and you see it for the first time, and it was just amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
And it's so far away. It seemed like someplace I'd never get to, but I was happy when we finally got there and saw it.
Did you
Now
see
we-
the black sand over there?
Black sand? I didn't see black sand. No,
those green
it
rocks
was
that are
dark.
in the
Yeah, we saw the black rocks in the ocean.
Oh, we saw
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big. I didn't see
black.
Haystack Rock because that's a lot farther north in Cannon Beach, but we saw some other places that had huge rocks. They're bigger than you think. They're huge. Yeah, and that was amazing because I'm not used to that. Being from Florida all my life, I'm just used to flat land, and which is beautiful too. But it was cool to see that different
Yeah,
landscape.
Debbie was actually born in Naples.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing a lot of traveling now. I'm seeing a lot of things I've never seen. So
That's
it's
awesome.
fun.
What was yours?
I really, we have seen so many places, but I like to aggravate her and tell her, I haven't seen it yet. So let's go do more traveling. When I see it, I'll tell you.
It's true.
But really, the sequoia trees,
Oh,
Yeah, the
they
red.
humbled me, standing next to them.
Yeah, Debbie spent her last birthday with a tree that had 1,000 of its own, and that's pretty cool
Yeah,
when
it
you
was
think of it.
1,000 years old, and we were at the Avenue of Giants, and those trees are huge and old, but not as big and old as Sequoia.
Right.
So I want to see those too.
Right.
Yes.
The General Sherman, did you see that?
don't know
One
which
named
one.
General Sherman. I think he's the oldest tree in the world.
Not sure. We went to where they got that statue of Paul Bunyan, Calamouth River.
Okay.
That's where we went,
Yes.
and it was very humbling.
They did have a large
Right.
tree called the General.
I don't know what they call it, but all the trees there were big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The actual skyline where you can go over the top of them. It's really cool.
You
It
did
was
that? Wow.
really cool.
All right, next. What's the biggest regret that you wish you did before you bought your first RV and had your first experience?
We would both agree on this one.
Yeah, we always say we wish we'd have done it sooner. We wish we'd have known about it sooner. We used to see travel trailers on the road all the time and never think twice about it. We didn't get it.
Yeah, we just didn't get to see a travel trailer, and I just didn't get it. I had my boat and thought that I was just it with my boat.
Right?
And I couldn't. And
that
now
was
that I've
fun.
sold the boat and I cringe when I see a boat on travel. I mean, they're nice. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's such a hole in the water. Every time you take the boat out and come back, there's something to fix. I don't see that with the RV. We've been fortunate. This thing has been held up the whole trip and back with no issues, and so we've been real lucky there. So yeah.
But you can see a lot more in the RV, obviously.
Yeah,
And,
in our boat, we saw the general area. We'd go out to eat in the boat, and that was nice to see
fishing.
waterfront and going fishing, seeing the dolphins, the manatees, the sea turtles. Great times on the boat, no doubt. But with the RV, wow, it's just limitless. You can
Kind of opens it up, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
What is
Yes, it
yours?
does.
It is. I'm going to agree with what you said.
With us was not before, but after. After we got the latest camper, the big one, it was this close of being called a lemon. All the things that went wrong with it. It was brand new.
Yeah, I guess we were just lucky there because, everyone said when I first got the RV and told them I have so much better than everyone goes, well, you're going to find out that it's just like a boat. You're going to have a lot of issues. And really, we've been lucky. We just haven't had any, knock on wood, issues.
Well, it doesn't have a motor we have to replace.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, we're very happy with it now.
Yeah, everything's fixed now.
All the issues have been fixed, we hope.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. What's the most annoying thing your spouse does while you're traveling that would drive you nuts?
That's easy for me. I'm a spur of the moment guy, and she's a planner, and her planning can drive me crazy. I'm like, let's just go. Let's not worry. Let's figure it out when we get there.
That's true.
She wants the itinerary all.
I like to know where we're going, what we're doing, what my future holds, and I don't want to miss anything. So I plan like crazy, and he accommodates me, but he'd rather just wing it.
Just wing it. See, that's the thing I'm kind of with Bob on right now, because we always planned our trip to the last East Coast, West Coast, and we had reservations. Boom, 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 boom. So we couldn't stop and, there's something there. But no, we have to keep going because we have to get to our reservation. And now this trip, no reservation.
Real quick. Living the good life RVing. I love to fish also.
Yeah.
Next time I'll rent a boat. That's my thing is I'll rent a boat and I'll go fishing. I'll rent a boat if I want to go see the turtles and the dolphins. So I'm with you there. Believe me, I've been boating for 25 years. I've owned a boat. It's just that I got to realizing how much money I put in it and the return I was getting for the boat. I'm getting a much better return on this RV than I did the boat. So I'm with you there. I love to fish too. But that's the difference there.
Yeah, everywhere you travel now, you have to have a license.
Right? Yeah, that's
have
true.
A year or two.
Yeah, but the point there is, if I wanted to go fishing at every stop, you'd have to get a license everywhere you go,
In
and
every
that,
state.
yeah, that could be a little brutal.
Yeah, I did a quick check on one of the websites for Canada. It's gonna cost me like $80 for the license, and we're only gonna be there maybe a month or so. That's a little steep. So I don't know. I might skip fishing. Just go,
But
just
see, when we
out
go to
the
Alaska,
market.
we'll be with somebody that is actually got a license, so maybe we can kind of skim by on that one.
Right, yeah.
You know, but yeah, okay. So the next one,
The PV thing about the pet thing about what people do that really aggravates you.
okay,
Campers.
the
The
pet
one
feed.
thing, it could be like running dogs, running children,
Yeah.
fireworks in the middle of the night.
You know, that would be it exactly. It would, for me, it would be, I don't mind people partying. I'm all for it. I can block it out. The thing is, if there's a quiet time, I'm observing it. I would appreciate other people to observe it too. We had a guy at 6 a.m. one time. That was why I said I was going to get to that later. Is at 6 a.m. banging on his trailer, fixing something. Literally at 6 a.m. he had a hammer banging on a piece of metal on his trailer. And I couldn't believe it. It literally woke me up. I looked out there. I videoed it. I was going to YouTube it. And I thought, I just don't want to have that kind of channel. I want a drama-free channel.
Drama-free.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do it. And I had uploaded it, and it was public and everything for a while. And later on in the day, I just took it down. I just didn't feel comfortable with having this guy up there and doing that. But yeah, I would say if there's quiet time, personally, I wish they didn't have quiet time and everyone could just do their thing. It wouldn't bother me. But if there's quiet time, I'm observing it. So please, you do the same thing, and that would be it for me.
People do get up like at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready to travel, and
Right.
they're very noisy, but they're not taking into consideration. Yeah, they're up, but we aren't.
Right. I go when I was on the West Coast, my body couldn't get used to West Coast time. I was still on East Coast time, so I was going to bed at 8:30 and getting up at 3 or 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. And we had a neighbor one time come in at 10:30, and they had the hardest time getting their trailer in, and she's yelling at him, turn left, turn right. And it was 10:30 at night, and it woke me up. And then they finally, when they couldn't get in that side, they pulled out and they tried on the other side of us.
For about another half hour.
And we're like, man, this whole park, there's places everywhere. Why you have to pick on each side of us?
There you go.
But then they finally got plugged in, backed in and set up. And then as soon as they plugged their power in, ours went out. So then we had to deal with the power and ended up to where we had to just literally unplug our power for the night. Next day, we went ahead, hitched up, and headed to Portland.
Yeah.
And we have a video on that one.
Oh, wow.
For me, it's traveling on the road, and people sometimes are impatient being behind a travel trailer, or they just don't understand what it's like to pull a travel trailer, and they'll cut right in front of you. We try to leave space between us and the car in front of us, and they'll get right in between.
Yeah, so if I'm doing 60 miles an hour and I have 7 or 8 car links between myself and the car in front of us, they think that that's for them to get in between us. And now I've only got 4 car links, and then that red light's up there, and I have a hard time, getting stopped the way we want to stop. So.
Yeah, or they're on their way to work, and they're like, not everyone's on vacation. They just want you out of the way.
When you were in Oregon, did you have the flip-off parade?
What's that?
When you guys were driving in Oregon, did you have the flip-off parade?
We didn't see that.
Oh, my God.
We were on
the
flip-off. People flipping us off? No, we didn't, fortunately.
In Oregon, we found Oregon to have some of the kindest drivers on the road.
Not us.
Yeah. Our worst experience with drivers are in Florida and California.
Yeah, they're really impatient.
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
We were in Oregon, and you know how it's curvy, and you have to. We have a 45-foot toy hauler, so you have to take it very slow. And when they do have pull-offs, and when we get to the pull-off, every single car is doing the finger.
Wow.
Oh wow, yeah, we didn't have that. I would hit the
I'm like,
pull
dude, you
ups
want to try
too.
and drive this thing on this road? You go to more than welcome and see what we're going through, right?
Those
Wow,
roads,
yeah.
those roads are beautiful, but I wasn't used to them, and even just driving them for the first time, it's a little scary because
It is. It is.
such a
They weren't happy
steep
with
drop off.
They
Yeah.
weren't happy with us.
Oh, that's too bad. No, we didn't get that fortunate.
Yeah.
Now, the one item, and we concur on this, is we love to do trails. We pull a campground, we find a trail, we go walking. Trash.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. The amount of
Yeah.
trash that people just discard.
You know what? We were really surprised when we went to Malibu, and you think of that place as being, elite where all the movie stars live, but there was so much trash on the side of the road in Malibu. We were
I
shocked.
couldn't believe it. Right there on the beach road there, the beachfront road there. They allow RV'ers to boondock camp on the side of the road there, which is fine. But then they throw their garbage out, and it was just unbelievable.
I'm not sure if it's them or trash.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Plastic bottles and just all kinds of garbage alongside. I couldn't believe it. I think Malibu was probably the most littered city I've ever been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to stop. They ain't going to let the RVs stay there if they don't keep up and take their own.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But a lot of the boondocking places, the really nice boondocking on BML lands, there's trash and stuff. We always clean up the area that we camp in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dump it. Then it's
leave it like you found it.
yeah.
Or better. Yeah.
Always better. Always better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I did the Potts River, there was 4 fire rings. We were the only ones in that area. It was great. We were the only ones there until the weekend. And every single one of those fire pits, they had dirty diapers and bottles. So I took a big garbage bag and I cleaned them all out, threw it in the back of the truck. And when he went to go get gas for the generator, he dumped it there. But it was just like, hello, you can't burn that stuff,
Right. We have yet to set a campfire. We have not had one campfire in all our travels.
Well, I gotta have a campfire every
they're cozy. They are cozy.
We just don't
Some of the
do
parks
campfires.
in California didn't want you to have a fire, but
well, see, there is a lot of places that allow you if you have it covered. But we went smart on this trip. We're taking a gas run one where it doesn't have any logs that are sparking. It's just the stones and they keep warm. It's like a little portable fire pit.
Yeah, that's gas.
We have a burn pit in our backyard, so we have a fire pit in our backyard that I made out of stone and everything, and we like to get a fire going there once in a while. But for some reason, camping, we just haven't yet. We just haven't. Yeah, we probably will this winter when we go traveling.
Yeah, we did. At the house, we have a huge one. I prefer the wood, but I understand that out there in the Pacific Northwest now, it's not a good time to be lighting up fires. So we're going to bring our propane one.
Yeah, because it doesn't spit. It just heats up the rock, and that's
That's nice. Yeah.
I'm glad you came, Southern Belle. Welcome, welcome. Okay, next question.
Okay, let's see. You've been RVing for a while. What is the one thing that you learned since then that you would like to pass on to a new person beginning to RV?
If someone were to come up to me right now and say, "Hey, I've never bought an RV. I think I'm going to go buy one," I would say, plan to spend an extra $1,000 to $2,000 on accessories that aren't included with the trailer. Because, like Debbie said, she thought you just hitch it up and you take off, and that's not the case. There's a lot of things you're going to need to get for that trailer before you head out.
Yeah, I was pretty nice about all that.
Yeah, that's great advice, but that's only for the beginning. I mean, I know a person that after all these years is still buying, and the rule one in, one out. He doesn't apply in his house.
Sure, that's true too. What would it be?
For me, it's check out the RV YouTube channels because we didn't know this whole community existed, and it's so much sharing of knowledge. It's very useful. So for somebody new starting out, I would say just watch some videos and you'll learn a lot about what you need to do.
That's so true. I didn't know nothing about RV, the RV channels that were out there. I didn't know about this until February of this year, because I mean, you look for something to fix on an RV. Yes, they're there, but you don't think that person is actually a YouTube channel that has like other things. You just look for that one thing, fix that one thing, and that's it,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually, along our trip, one of our subscribers had noticed the way I had my water hose hooked up, and he typed in there, what you need to do on that water hookup is I would suggest you get a brass elbow for the connector there. And it had always dripped there before, and I went out and bought that brass elbow, like he said, and wow, that literally was just a great piece of advice.
We get a lot of advice like that too. Yes.
So that YouTube thing, that's really cool. But we've only been doing this since we bought the RV in February. It's our first one, and then we took off for San Antonio and back, and then did a couple of local things, and then our big trip to Oregon and back. So, I think we were pretty fortunate. We watched a lot of YouTube, and it worked for us very well.
And
right
I'm not even a social media person. I didn't have Facebook, and I really wasn't into it. But this I got into because it's so helpful and useful, and I just love that whole community network.
Itching to scratch. You say RV for all motorhomes. I actually say
it's
RV.
A recreational vehicle.
Yeah, I say RV for travel trailers, fifth wheels, pop-ups. It's a recreational vehicle. So whatever it is, it's
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, how did you like San Antonio?
Oh, we love it. Now, I went to school in San Antonio from 1st to 8th grade, and before we moved to Florida permanently as a kid. But going back, it's much nicer today than it was back then. The San Antonio River's beautiful, the shopping district and dining district down there.
Yeah, they really built it up, and it is so nice. We go down there on the river walk, I believe.
Yeah, and we love the Guadalupe River.
There's a park there where you can camp right on the Guadalupe River and go in the water. It was so park. Beautiful. We're going to go back. That's how much we liked it. New
Braunfels is in the area. It's real nice there. So we love San Antonio, actually.
When we went, we did the free missions, and that was like an all-day thing, and it was
beautiful. We're going to see that when we go back.
Yeah, we did the Alamo, but we didn't do the free missions. We'd like to check that out.
Right in front of the Alamo, we took the bus. It was like $1.50 for each, and it took us to all the missions. And
cool.
Brought us back.
That's very cool.
That's all we spent.
That's all we spent, and we got beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good to know. Well,
we didn't move our vehicle at all. It stayed there the whole day, and we took the bus and it brought us right back. It was perfect.
That's one of the destinations we plan on doing again. That we're going to repeat. We really liked it there.
Yeah.
All right, Libby. Have a great day.
We love it. We love it. Let's see. What is the most difficult item you find about setting up?
Driving or etc. Anything.
For me, it would be, like I was saying, probably the leveling hasn't been a problem. For some reason, we've been lucky with pulling into a spot and being pretty close to level. We haven't, only one time did we really have an issue in Alabama, and I actually bent my race, the platform there for my hitch. But I would say just stabilizing, because like I said, I cut 12-inch blocks of 2x4s, and I stack them in a certain way to stabilize. It requires me to carry a lot of 2x4s back and forth. So I would say stabilizing for me.
Sometimes it's the navigating, because we use the truck's built-in navigator, and it's not always correct. It's not perfect, and it sent us down some roads before that we shouldn't be on. It actually put us on a road that was under construction, and we looked and we saw the barricades where the traffic was blocked off and the construction workers there, and so we had to turn around and get back on.
I mean, we literally had to go on this road that was it was part of the, it was a finished, it was at once a finished road that they had ripped up, and we had to
Yeah.
literally pull onto that lime rock that they had you know, where they were, and had to turn around. They're like
Yeah.
looking at us like, what
I
are you
know,
doing? But
I
hey,
know.
this is where my
And
GPS
that's
at.
not the
Yeah,
only
right.
time. That's
On,
not the only
on the money, we can identify with both your examples. The GPS, we were running late, got dark,
Bye, living the good life. See you guys.
Yeah.
time.
and the GPS sent us down a logging road. That was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
They're not fun.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
and then the other one is the leveling system. We have an automatic leveling system. You know, you're supposed to press a button and go have a beer, right? No, it's never worked properly.
Yeah.
I was in the shop twice to have it fixed. Still having problems.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
Now, so it's my problem now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, we actually got sent down a road one time, and I guess it might have been a road one time, but now it was a big produce field,
It
and
was
there
a
were
farm.
it was a farm, and migrant workers were out there picking vegetables, and here we were down this road going, well, what do we do here? And that
I'm
was
looking at you going, you don't belong here.
yeah, it's just crazy.
Then you
you know?
have to find a place to turn around, and you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
not
think that was
always
in
easy.
Northern California too, wasn't it?
It's bad. So we use that, and I use Google Maps.
Google Maps, yeah.
Yeah, to where it drops the pin and shows right where you are to get us out of these situations.
And that seemed
Yeah.
the Google Map seems to be more reliable. So I really believe in my navigating system. I'm stubborn, and Debbie's like, "Don't do it, don't go there," and I
know.
keep
Something
going, and
doesn't
then
seem right.
and the
I
next thing you know,
will basically say the night before we reroute and we look.
Yeah.
And now we look ahead before we get there because we don't make those turns because we learned our lesson. You have no idea. This is a fire road, 2:00 in the morning. You can't back out of it. You have to drive all the way down to the turnabout, and then if you do the turnabout, you'll jackknife because you're too big.
Right. Well,
So
your rig's so big.
It was
Ours is only 20 foot, so I'm able to usually we've been pretty lucky on our dead ends and where we've taken those kind of roads where I can usually get out of it with not too much problem. But it's only a 20-foot trailer where yours is twice as long.
It's scary.
Planning comes in handy.
Yes.
Now the next question is a real good one. What is the one mistake that you say, oh, how could I be so dumb?
Okay. And I should have known better because I've done enough pulling a boat trailer. But I one time went to a campsite and went to unhitch before I put my chocks down. And when I lifted up the hitch, the trailer took off on me. It literally started rolling back. Fortunately, I still had the chains hooked up, and it pulled and just stopped right there. It caught the trailer and stopped it. So I had to put the jack stand back down, back the truck up to get the slack, get the chocks underneath, and then unhitch properly. And I was pretty embarrassed about that. But that's definitely the biggest mistake I've made so far, was to unhitch without putting the chocks down.
He does most of the work, but I have left the vent open before because I was supposed to check all of that, and it rained inside the trailer. So it could have been worse, but I wasn't too good either.
All right, so those were our biggest mistakes so far. But we've only been doing this for a few months, so we're fortunate.
All good. Everybody learns from this, so that's just the question.
You know, I can't honestly say that I have done one yet, but I'm bound to somewhere along the line. However, I do know of one that happened. We were camping in Port Orange, a little campground called Nova. And there was this Canadian couple, and they had this beautiful fifth-wheeler. And the night before, we went to visit them, and we had a great time. The next morning, they were leaving, and I don't know exactly what he did, but when he pulled out the truck, camper fell right on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Lots of damage.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience for me because check, double check, triple check.
Sure.
After she
I check it.
double checks, triple check.
Yeah, that's another thing I always recommend. Even, it might cause a little bit of tiff back and forth because they get annoyed, but I always recommend when he's done, I go around and check.
Yeah, that's what we do now. I check her and she checks me now. I come inside and she goes outside, and then I do the inside checks and she'll do the outside checks.
Yeah, a different pair of eyes always helps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, at first it kind of annoyed me, but now I look forward to it. I know that it's going to be very hard for us to overlook the obvious.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what happened with that other fellow. He just thought that it clicked, but it didn't click.
Right. Wow. That's one where it could have hurt somebody too. Sure.
Yeah. And the next one.
What is your favorite food to cook in the RV?
Okay, now we've answered the 10 questionnaire thing, but that was outside the RV. So now we're going to move into the RV and cook. So then we're going to have a different answer.
He did the 10 questions. We didn't challenge him on 10 questions. Somebody else did.
Yeah.
So this is our channel. So we're different.
Right.
We go different.
Right, so,
we'll say something.
So something cooking on the inside for me is we have an air fryer. And I really like this air fryer. I got it in fact, Debbie listed it as her favorite accessory inside the trailer. And I love it when we do the chicken wings in the air fryer. So, yeah, chicken wings on the air fryer.
That's exactly what we like.
I don't know if you guys have an air fryer.
I have everything.
Awesome.
I keep adding to the camper and all the weight, and he goes, it doesn't work with the one in and one out with me because I have to have all my stuff.
Right. So for me, it's the chicken wings.
Yeah, that's really good. I like making the blueberry pancakes in the morning. That always goes over well. Just buy the fresh blueberries, but add it to the pancake mix, and that's always a pleaser.
Yeah.
We haven't tried that.
We haven't.
Yeah.
Great idea. I like blueberries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
To cook?
Inside. We're doing inside.
Inside. Oh, boy. I haven't thought of this one. I like to cook breakfast. She likes to eat breakfast. So that sets the tone for the day. A good breakfast, happy, the wife is happy. And with the hot plate that she has.
Just listen to her, Pamela. They can tell you everything that you need to know.
It's so easy to clean. We use paper plates.
Yeah, we do that too because you have to conserve water, so you don't want to be spending all your water doing dishes. So
it's so easy. I don't know what the material is of, but all you gotta do is basically just wipe it.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. And she's happy.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you're the breakfast. I agree with you on the chicken wings. They're really easy, but I love my Instapot. My Instapot I can cook a meal for 2 days, and it's there. It's a couple of something because it doesn't take so long to cook.
I need to try one of those. We don't have.
You gotta get one. I'm telling you, it's worth every bit.
Instapot.
Oh yeah, I've heard about those. I was going to surprise her with something different that I've been hearing about, but I'm going to go ahead and blow it now. So I've heard the Dutch oven.
Oh yeah.
But you use those over a campfire.
Yeah, you put it over the campfire, and you can actually cover the coal. Yeah, but if we start
when you start doing the campfires, it's a good idea. But she's gonna love the Instapot. But that's a secret. She doesn't hear it. Okay.
Yeah, right. Now I'll keep that in mind, definitely, the Instapot, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about the Instapot too. So yeah. And that's what got me on the air fryer. I'd never heard of one before until I was watching YouTube, and one of these ladies on YouTube was showing the air fryer and how it was really good for low carb meals and stuff like that. And Debbie likes to watch her carbs. So that's why I bought her one, and she really likes it. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Vegetables are good in it too.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
this one you
That's
can do-
right. Happy.
You can do pressure cooking. You can do just sizzling.
Galleon Adventures just came in the room. Hello, Galleon Adventures.
How you doing? He's actually going to be on my adventures. We're going to stop at his house. We've got the pin there, ready to go.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Come with them. And of course, Kathy, she's got us a staging area. So when we go to the RV show in Tampa, we're all going to stage at this place. She's helping me out trying to find the place. And I'm letting everybody know that's going to be traveling there that we can all like go in as a convoy.
Oh, cool. The
And
caravan.
staging area, we're not going to camp there or anything. We're just going to meet there and then just go. Because there's no
cool.
areas to stand by. It's
Right.
crazy. So, but yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, next question.
In the morning, we all have our own little routines. So what is your routine in the morning?
Okay, I get up early. I've always been an early bird, so I'll get up in the morning, I'll make my coffee, and then I usually get on the computer and go to work because I usually get up around 5 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m., and Debbie gets up hours later, but it gives me good quiet time, no phone calls from clients and stuff, and I can get several hours of work done without any interruption. So that's usually what I do. Unless it's travel day, then that would be a little different. Because if it's travel day, usually the night before we get a lot of stuff ready, and only my computer's out, and we leave that out in the morning. And I start packing that stuff up once I check out YouTube and emails and stuff like that.
And I'm a little bit more of a night owl, but for the same reason, because I find late at night, it's nice and quiet and peaceful. And then I get my quiet time to get stuff done. And then I sleep in later. But when I get up, it's make the bed, have Bob fold it up because we've got the Murphy bed.
Oh,
And then make breakfast. And I make breakfast. He has waited a few hours. He's getting hungry.
Yeah, the bed usually we want that made right away because it's a Murphy bed and it's in the way if it's down.
Yeah.
So
right.
when she gets up, she immediately makes a bed. Then I come in, I fold it up, and then we've got a couch there, and we've got our room there. And then she gets breakfast made up while I'm still working online.
We have this rule. Whoever's the last one out of bed gets to make the bed. Sometimes he don't make the bed.
I guess it's an unwritten rule for us too, and I'm safe to say that because I'm always out of bed first.
Yeah.
Well, couple of things. Remember how you earlier said how you learn by watching videos?
Correct.
Carolyn.
Oh, Carolyn Irene.
Travel.
I was watching one of her videos on how she makes her bed, and I said, darn it, what didn't I think of that? Now I'm making the bed.
With no issues.
It's a snap. It's a king-size bed. There's no room. That's it. But the way she does it, it works for me.
Now, one of the things when we bought this trailer, one of the things I really wanted on a trailer was to be sure that 3 sides of the bed was open to walk around.
Yeah.
Only the head of our bed's up against the wall. The other 3 sides are open to walk around, so that's nice.
But even
Exactly you, right, Gallian?
Yeah.
sometimes I get in the bed to make the bed.
Yeah. Normally my routine is our dogs. I feel guilty staying in bed while they haven't been out yet.
Right.
So I get up, no coffee, no nothing, just put my shoes on, grab the doggy bags, open the door and let them out. Let them go run around, do their thing, then I go back to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a cat, a house cat that's our cat, and we have 2 stray cats that we take care of that hang out at our house. But none of them travel with us.
Yeah, we don't have any traveling.
So we don't have any pets traveling with us. So I can only blame us for messing up the bed.
Yeah, ours have gotten to traveling with us, and they are not a bother. They don't bark. You don't even know that they are.
They love the patio because they have the freedom. They're not tied up or anything. They've got the patio. And they got.
I'm sure dogs love to travel.
We bought our camper because of our dogs. You know, the patio and stuff is perfect for them. Okay, what's next?
What do you look for when traveling from point A to point B? Something that kind of breaks up the monotony of, because some roads are really nothing else.
Isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play some games. Like I have like 1,500 songs on my iPod, so I'll put on some music and have her guess the band because she doesn't know all the music, all the bands that I listen to. So we'll do things like that. And,
Yeah. Well, we look for if there's a little side destination or a sign that we see along the way, something unexpected, we might stop at that. But as far as passing the time on the road, we listen to a lot of music.
we also video. We do some of our videos at that time. We put the camera on us and do a little bit of our YouTube videoing at that time. We actually like our one video, the Bonnie and Clyde ambush site.
I love that.
We actually found that by accident. We're just driving
Yeah.
down the road and we saw it, and I was always into John Dillinger and Babyface Nelson and Machine
Yeah,
Gun
he's
Kelly.
crazy about all that criminology.
Yeah, that criminology of
history.
the 30s. I was really into that stuff. So when I saw that Bonnie and Clyde ambush, I go, we got to go check that out.
And you had big enough area to pull your rig in there. It was not an issue.
Yeah, no, it was great. You could have pulled yours in.
Yeah.
Really.
That's what we look for. I'm just like you. I like to look for side attractions. If I can fit in there, we're stopping.
Right. The salt flats in Utah, that was by accident. We're driving down the road and all of a sudden we saw these salt flats and we saw a rest area, pulled in there, and turned out to be where they do the land speed records there,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Salt flats.
Yeah, so that was another one that we found by accident. So
that's a treasure. That was a treasure.
Yeah, like Alien Adventures is saying, it really is amazing what you just find when you're driving down the road and it's not part of your destination but becomes part of it. So that's a lot of fun.
In Virginia and where else? Pennsylvania. We do. We like all the historical places, and if you was to take a skim through, you could see a lot of that in my channel. But this one is going to be the ultimate of ultimate trips because we ain't gonna plan anything to stay. If we don't want to stay there, we're gonna keep driving because I'm capable of driving too. So it's not a problem to change it up. If we want to leave early, if we want to stay another day, we don't have no reservations.
Right.
And I'm going to
nice.
Everything because this is an ultimate trip. I don't care how long it takes.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, ours was big from Naples, Florida to Portland, Oregon, and you're doing from Orlando, Florida to Alaska.
And Canada, all Canada too.
Yeah.
That's
beautiful. I can't wait to go to Canada. That's
I'm so excited.
I'm going to check out. So.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll do Alaska one day too.
If we could sell our bike, we might leave early.
Yeah, right? There you go.
Okay, the next one.
The apps. What apps do you use for traveling, campgrounds, sightseeing?
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, I myself, I don't have any apps on my phone. The only app I think I have on my phone is a flashlight. So I just don't have any apps. Debbie's.
That's an app.
I don't have many either, but I've got the weather app. I think it's called Highway Weather, and so that's good. You can just put in your destination and where you're leaving from, and then it'll show you the weather all the way along the way and give you any alerts. If there's any bad weather. Like when we were going through Needles, I had a lot of that hot weather warning alerts because it was over 115 degrees.
Yeah, and we actually hit 118 degrees.
But we were lucky because we didn't have any bad weather. We just had one day of rain in Oregon. But I would check it every day just to make sure in case you need to change your route because some of those areas you don't know if you're going to have a tornado.
Yeah, we also had a little bit of a sandstorm. I mean, for us Floridians, locals would have probably laughed at me for saying that, but we had about a 30-minute sandstorm in New Mexico too, in Albuquerque, where the wind really kicked up, and I was a little concerned about it sandblasting the truck, because I'm
right.
Really.
See, you just help somebody. Somebody's gonna get that app, Debbie.
Yeah, no, that's
Highway Weather, and it's so easy to use, and it's great. You just put in where you're leaving from. It will tell you if it's going to rain, how much rain they're expecting, tell you what how fast the winds will be.
When
So
the best time is to leave or to head out, like if you say you're going there, it goes, well, the best time for you to leave for that trip is now or at 3 p.m. today.
Yeah.
You put in there where you're at and where you're going, and it go, well, the best time for you to leave weather-wise is at 3 o'clock today or noon today is the best time to head out. And that's a pretty good app.
Yeah, and it'll tell you.
Becky's downloading it now. I got
They're
it.
downloading it now.
Okay.
Is there any other ones that you got?
I don't think so. Not for
No?
traveling. That I use that and Google Maps and our navigation, and that's about it for traveling.
Yeah. Otherwise, we might get online when we're stopped. We go on and like we've got I've got a few things bookmarked on my browser, but as far as apps now.
So
Yeah,
if I
I
want to
got
find a gas station, I'll just put in gas station near me on Google Maps, and that's how I.
And
always
it'll find it
it
no matter where you are. It'll find it because it knows where you are on
It'll
the
show
map.
me all the stations nearest me.
Yeah, I got the rest stop as we were speaking. I got the rest stop. It's called a rest stop. That's all it is, rest stop. So that you can see if there's a rest area close by.
Yeah, there's a neighbor of mine was telling me of one that's called Next Exit.
Yeah,
and
I got that one too.
It tells you what's at the next exit. What's available at the next exit.
Yeah, all the ins and outs of the actual area, what's there and what's not. Yeah, I've got that one too. But I always look for a rest stop because we have to walk the doggies.
Yeah.
And
to take a break.
Yeah, we used to use Napster for music. I'm seeing this from Roy and Becky's travels, but nowadays I use iTunes. Yeah. So and Gas Buddy, I've heard of that one too. That might be one worth looking into also, because I have heard of that, and that's a really good one. Because I like to fill up at half a tank.
Right.
And if I'm getting ready to hit an isolated area, I carry 2 5-gallon gas tanks for the inverter generator. And if I'm going to be in an isolated area for a while, I like to go ahead and put some gas in those just in case.
You never know.
Right. And then once we get out of the isolated area, I like to actually use that gas so I'm not lugging it around with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the gas. I have Gas Guru. I have that too. But Campers Help, that basically tells you a lot of things, like it'll find you service, where's the best service, campgrounds and stuff like that. It's called Campers Helper. That's a pretty cool app. I'm looking at my phone as I speak.
I've got Campaminium, is it called, or
Campaminium. Also, iOverlander. iOverlander, I love it because it took me through a lot of places in the Yukon and Alaska that I'm going to be needing, and they also help me on a lot of things with that.
So
and
my Campaminium I use as a browser here. I don't have it on my phone.
That's a browser. That's a site.
A lot.
But iOverlander is an actual app, like freecampsites.net is a site, but iOverlander is actually a free camping or campground close by, or, there's a lot of free camping listed on iOverlander, or you can just go like minimal to the most expensive, or it also tells you, the footage of your rig. You can put that in and it'll tell you where you can go and not go, which is really good. I like that. Yeah. And then I've got All Trails because we are a trailer looker. We like to go on trails, and we type in where we're at, and it tells us all of the trails, and we can look at it and see which ones we really would like to see and stuff. And that's what we do too. I'm an app fanatic. I'm like,
I'll probably go back and watch this video again later and take note on some of those apps you just mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. Also, this is another one I always recommend. Like if you're unhitching and you're going into like a big city. They have like Washington. I experienced it in New York, Washington. What was the other one? Where you can park and you can pay for the parking on an app, and it's called Park Mobile. And
we had to do
St.
that.
Peter's.
We had to finally do that in St. Petersburg because we couldn't park in downtown St.
Right, I used that too because in Washington, and it was great because you don't have to come back to the meter and put quarters in. You just go on your phone and say, add another hour, and I love it.
Right. That's cool. Yeah.
So that I believe is most of my apps. But yeah, that's just a few that you guys can check out and see. And of course, I do the Google Maps also. That's another thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
It's more reliable than the navigator in the truck, we're finding out.
Yeah. And I don't. We do have a navigation system in our truck, but we never use it. We never really tested it. Plus, we have to update it. We need to update it.
It's about 7 years old, and it definitely needs upgrading.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The next question is, I don't quite understand it, but
Where are we?
what is your go-to grocery item when you travel?
Mine, okay. We
More
walk
like
into
her.
Yeah,
I want to know.
we walk into a grocery store. Mine is I head right to Ben and Jerry's. I go to the ice cream. I look and see what Ben and Jerry flavors they have. Then we go do our shopping, and then we come back and put the ice cream in last because we don't want it to melt while we're shopping. But I like to know in my mind what it is I'm going to get. So I head right to Ben and Jerry's and see the flavors that they have available, so I know what we're going to come back and get when we're finished.
Yeah, our go-to grocery items, it's iced tea and beer, orange for the beer, sandwich materials, breakfast materials. And then for dinner, if we're going to cook for dinner, we like to buy something local, depending on where.
Yeah, have it fresh. Yeah. We have the wine. We've got to get a good bottle of wine from that area that actually produces it in that area.
Yeah, I like the
Hi,
regional
Minnie Diamond.
food.
Hi, Minnie. Welcome. But yeah, we always have a good bottle of wine from the local area.
Yeah, I like to do that.
Yeah.
Different.
Like in New Mexico, those
Oh, the Hatch green chili is really big in New Mexico. They take a lot of pride in the harvest season there. So we had some food with the Hatch green chili. It's really
local stuff. That's
and then in Malibu is halibut.
Yeah, Malibu it was seafood.
And down
yeah,
here,
just depending on
down here in the Keys, we're doing a lot of
that donut
seafood.
place in Portland, Oregon was awesome.
Yeah, we definitely like to, taste the local foods and stuff. We do that, but we also have on hand, in the freezer. If we want a good steak, I just leave it out and get it room temperature, and then I cook it. Well, that's the best way to cook a steak, I found out. But
room temp.
But breakfast items too, because you want it fresh and stuff. So okay, next.
The last one. What's the last
We got one more left. Any advice that any advice that you haven't covered or I haven't covered, you could tell new or old RVers that might help them in the process of either buying a rig, traveling in a rig, or otherwise. I know I added a little bit to it.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to buying a rig, don't ask people's advice, because what's good for me isn't good for them and it won't be good for you. You need to get what's right for you. And that's what I was telling Living the Good Life RVers. They said they were having a lot of people trying to talk them into this or that. And I go, get what's you.
Get what you want.
Yeah, for us, a 20-foot trailer we love our trailer. It's only 20 foot, but it's perfect for us. Some people want a Class A, a Class C, a toy hauler. Get what's right for you, and don't listen to anyone else when it comes to that. So it's really tough to get to try and ask for advice for what RV should I get, and just get what's right for you. Look around. Look on YouTube, see the pros and cons to them all. There's probably not a perfect trailer except ours.
We did a lot of research, though.
And we've added stuff to make it perfect for us too. So just things like the backup camera, the electric tongue up and down jack, and just this right here, this backsplash, just things like that we know were right for us. But that would be mine.
Yeah, and if you're buying a travel trailer, consider what you're hauling it with if you have the appropriate
vehicle for it
to pull it with.
Yeah, we do. We see people out there sometimes pulling them, and we know it's really not the right vehicle. And I mean, you want to be careful there, because the dealer they're going to sell it to you. They don't care.
It happened to us. It happened to us, and it wasn't fun, because we had a 2500 Dodge Ram, and we got a Raptor, and we were traveling back from the Key West. What road was it on? And, you know, we have little hills in Claremont. They go like that.
Route 27.
Route 27. And we were on a hill, and it was
Little
raining.
rollers.
Huh?
Little rolling hills. Like
Yeah, little rolling hills. But when you get, there is enough incline to where there's a light at the bottom of the hill, which I hate. Oh, God, I hate it. And we put our brakes on really quick because we only had a little bit of time, and we just went right through the light.
Yeah.
So immediately that day, we took our blue truck and we went and bought a big one. Day.
Right.
But that was not.
Yeah, that could be scary.
That was not pleasant. You know.
Yeah, something else I noticed a lot on the road is a lot of people they're used to driving their vehicle and they think they can do 80 mile an hour pulling a trailer. And, you know, even I replaced all the tires on our trailer before we ever left. I used all the original tires as spares. I literally carry all of them in the back of the truck. But I replaced them all with Goodyear Endurance tires. And even though the tires are rated for 80 miles an hour, it doesn't mean that the trailer's rated for 80 miles an hour, the structure of the trailer. So I would just recommend that people not be in a hurry when they're pulling a trailer. And, you know, just because the speed limit, because I see 75 mile an hour speed limits. It doesn't mean I'm going to do 75 miles an hour.
He does like 65. I think 65 is your max, right?
65, that's it.
Yeah.
62 is my max. And I literally did 62 all the way to Oregon and back in the right-hand lane. And if someone doesn't like it, just go around me.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not, you know, you're not going to push me.
I figure if I want to get there quicker, park the truck, take a plane.
Yeah, right.
Right, and like Roy and Becky's saying here, they've seen bumpers just about dragging from our, that's absolutely right. I've seen that too out there, and I'm just like, you know, they've got the wrong vehicle there. And that was something else with in ours when we bought our trailer, Camping World. They've been really good for us. We've been happy, but they recommended us.
A lot of people have had a lot of bad experiences.
Yeah, another Forgotten Winter, they had a real good experience with them too. So a lot of people have had good and people have had bad. Sometimes I think you might just have a bad salesperson. So I myself can't. They've been good to me because I've used them in several places. But anyway, they recommended a sway bar, a 2-point sway bar. And when we went to San Antonio and back, we had trucks passing us at 70. And I mean, on a construction road where the barrier wall is only 8 inches from the trailer. And I just felt that trailer still swaying. It just wasn't enough. So when we got back to Florida, I replaced that sway bar with a weight distribution hitch. And what a difference that made.
Another one for y'all.
Yeah, so anyone who's pulling a trailer, I highly recommend a weight distribution hitch. Sway bars might be good for around town, you know, in the state park in your local area. But as far as getting on the highway and doing any serious traveling, you definitely want to get a 4-point sway bar with a weight distribution hitch. It made all the difference on our journey from Southwest Florida to Portland and back.
Okay.
So,
well, the one tip that I give to anybody considering buying an RV is going to websites and read the pros and cons of owners. They have owned these vehicles. They know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And you can learn a lot about one vehicle. They may have a series of problems that it's not a one or two vehicle. It could be hundreds of vehicles that have the same problem. That will educate you a little bit better as to whether you really want to deal with that or not.
Yeah, that's good to read all the reviews. That's good.
I have a really good one. We learned. Okay. Anybody that doesn't have a camper or has a camper otherwise, the ones that do have a camper, they're gonna agree with me. But new people getting a camper, this is a much safety recommendation. I can not have enough of. Get yourself what is it? What are those things that tighten the lug nuts? What are
wrench.
A torque wrench.
Oh, a torque wrench.
And I would say every 300 miles, just check your lug nuts. Because no matter how much weight you have on these tires, they're running with weight constantly, and they do loosen. The lug nuts are not like a regular car tire. It's different because there's more weight, and it's off weight, on weight, off weight, on weight. And sometimes your tires are depleting because of the roads. Sometimes I recommend them do it. Just it's a tedious little thing. Stop at a rest area, check your lug nuts. Because one time we pulled over, we lost 2 lug nuts.
Oh wow!
Thank God we had the spare tire. We had an extra set, and we put them on. But we lost 2. Now, could you imagine if we didn't check that, we wouldn't have seen that, and we probably would have lost a tire.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
So check your lug nuts.
Yep, that's a good point. On our trip, when we got back from Portland, we had the truck serviced up in Portland, but didn't do anything to the trailer. And when we got back, I put the trailer in shop to have it serviced. And they told me I had a good 200 miles left on those bearings. So that's something else when you're pulling a trailer. You want to be sure to check those wheel bearings every 10,000 miles. And something else that some Roads We Roam did a thing the other day where he went over all the stuff that he does. And one thing he didn't mention, and I mentioned to him, I go, I'm sure you do this, but still I'm going to suggest it just in case. Your air conditioning filters, you want to keep those clean. And he goes, I'm glad you mentioned it, because to be honest with you, it's not something I did. And you're right, something that that's one thing that don't think about.
Our air conditioner starts dripping water. You know, we don't clean it quite often.
Yeah, we had that problem one time, and so that's something you definitely want to keep. So now I literally do our air conditioner filter, and I thaw out the refrigerator once a month.
Yeah.
Or the freezer, you know, that we have to flush the freezer.
I do that.
And the AC filter once a month. And
that's a good thing too. Extended mirrors does help if you can get that, or if your truck already comes with it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
well, read that over at Galleon Adventures. They actually lost a rim and tire somewhere in Mississippi. All the studs broke off.
They broke off because one of the studs probably loosened up. And then another one, and then another one.
The wheel starts wobbling and wears it down. And
you can't feel it. You can't feel it, you know?
Same thing happened to SS and the RV Cats. If you follow that channel, they actually lost a wheel one time too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I thought my wife was going to mention the experience we had in South Carolina, where a car pulled next to us.
That's right. We did lose one.
Blowing the horn.
Lost a tire.
Blowing the horn. We didn't know what was going on, so I lowered my window, and she says, "You lost the tire."
We didn't even.
Wow.
And you don't feel it.
I pulled to the side. We got triple tires.
This was right when we pulled.
That's a big fifth wheel triple axle.
First pulled away, and see what it was they didn't do the safety check when we pulled our camper out of buying it. And we went into camp for one night, and then we did our immediate East Coast. They didn't check it, and I didn't think about checking it because I'm still new.
RV Nomad 365 had the same thing happen to them. They bought it from their in-laws or from his in-laws, and he took responsibility. So I should have checked it, but I thought they had done that, and they ended up losing a wheel as well.
So long ago. That was a long time ago. I forgot about that. I remember
Yeah, we were once behind you. Go ahead.
Yeah, recently we were behind somebody who had a flat tire on their travel trailer. They didn't know it. They were just traveling along, and pieces of rubber were just flying.
And they were cruising along at 70 miles an hour. And this was the one time I actually picked up the speed a little bit to get next to them and let them know you've got a flat tire. Yeah. And they had to pull over and get that, taken care of.
Yeah, so and I always recommend check it. Like if you stop at a rest area every 300 miles, at least torque them, because and this is another thing you just brought my attention. I forgot about this. Actually, lost 2 tires. Okay, this is another thing. But it wasn't a rolling tire. It was our spare tire.
Oh,
so
on the back.
Everybody.
Underneath.
No, underneath.
Oh, underneath, right.
Okay. Make sure that you tighten that all the time before you leave. Make sure it's tight because it rattled loose. Brand new tire gone. We don't know where we lost it. I just happened to look down underneath the camper and I said, "Honey, our tire's gone." And
Wow.
that twist.
I
Check
wonder
it.
where-
Wow, yeah.
Because the vibration loosens.
Yeah, I have to admit that's one I haven't checked. The one on
Yeah.
it's actually on the back, but that could happen the same way there. It's something that should be checked.
Yeah.
It's like you should probably go around and check all your nuts and bolts on everything, because that thing, that's how we got that water leak, was from vibration. It went up with the water.
Because everybody doesn't understand that, it loosens. It loosens.
Right.
Where's that road? It's funny. We're talking about tires now. Where's that road that we went down and there was everybody, the cleaner?
We've never lost one. I'm just talking
You're lucky.
Mini Diamond. We
That
haven't
road
done.
that we went down where the cleaner uppers were cleaning up and there was piles of tires. I mean, full blown tires with rims and everything along the road.
Oh, that was here in Orlando, Route 474. It was like the dumping tire highway.
But it had rims and everything, so it was people that lost tires.
Sure.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Most people don't realize they've lost, and they go so far down the road. Who's going to turn around and start trying to find it now?
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless somebody says something, that's why I always say I'm very highly on it. Because he gets frustrated with me. He always looks at me and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not getting in there until it's fixed. Until you tighten them. I do. He gets frustrated with me, but that's one of my musts. That's one of my musts.
I got so many lumps on my head. Now I don't mind.
actually, the tightening down tires, you're right, but that was something I pretty much kept up with, because I had seen that. I watched these channels and I had seen that. People that another thing I always watch out for when Debbie's backing me up, I'll say, well, be sure to watch the branches too.
Yeah.
On the top.
That's something you want to always be careful of. It's not just what you're going to back into, but canopies, anything that's low that you might hit, because I've seen people that have actually pulled into a gas station that was too low for their fifth wheel, and they end up hitting that, so there's a lot to look for out there. No doubt.
A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand when they get rigs to make sure that you constantly torquing them, because if you don't, you can lose the tire, and it happens. It happens to everybody. But
when
you're
you're
just
in a parking lot
right now. Wait till you go to Illinois, or something gonna happen. It'll happen. Be prepared.
Yeah, right. That's what I told Deb that before we left on that big trip. I go, we're gonna have some problems along the way. It's expected, and it's how we deal with it. We're not gonna freak out. We're just gonna deal with it and make it right. Let's not lose it. Let's just. Yeah. Fortunately, we were lucky. Nothing went wrong.
You just brought up another point. Always have an emergency fund.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And take your time, whether it's pulling up to a gas pump or whatever it is. Just once you pull off the road and into a parking lot, think about everything. Take your time. It's not just you. It's other people are going to do something to you, and just always. Take your time.
You just brought something else out of me already. Check your hitch if you have a fifth wheel every time before you hitch up, because I don't know if somebody was being mischief or not, but they had removed. It had to have been, because it can't be two at one time. Come on, but they pulled the things off with the actual, what are they called? Cotter pins.
The cotter
pins.
Which could have caused damage, but we always check it and we put it back in. But they're cotter pins, so it could. I think somebody was just trying to be mischief.
Yeah.
That's good. You checked them.
Were they missing?
No, they were laying right there.
Oh, okay. All right.
But the cotter pin and everything was hooked up. We always check it. Because that's one of the most pet peeves I have. Make sure the hitch is capable of taking care of us while we're on the road. And so we always check those 4 points. And it was just one time we got up the next morning. And of course, when you're unhitching, you notice those things. We got up the next morning and they were out.
Like Roy and Becky are mentioning here, one thing that we did do along the route is something I had never done, but I saw at a Love's gas station. I actually saw a weigh station, and we pulled in there, and for less than $12, we weighed the rig. Turns out that our rig empties 3,800 pounds, and it's maxed out at 5,000, and we were actually only carrying 240 pounds because our rig weighed in at 4,040 pounds. So we were well under the max, but it was good to know that. it was just good to know that where we were. So that's a good thing to have done.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong on an RV. Another point is the axles. Who thinks of checking axles? Well, we do. You know why?
It happened.
First the left in Indiana, and then the right in Maryland. They both broke. Both times we were stranded.
The shackles.
The welding part.
Oh, yeah.
The actual axle broke up from potholes, and the potholes in Indiana and Illinois are horrendous.
Yeah, we found Louisiana to have the worst roads in the country from where we have traveled, but we haven't been to Illinois and Indiana.
Just really
yet.
bumpy, yeah.
But yeah, they like have expansion joints on their interstates, and it was boom, 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 boom. The whole trip, it's a lot.
I just happened to be walking and checking while we were parked at, I think it was like a rest area. And I have a tendency to go around because ever since that incident I saw the lug, I was done. I have to check everything. So I mischeck it all. I am. So I walk around and I just happened to look and it was lower. The tires were lower. And I was like, no, that's not right. And closer to each other. And I said, no, that's not right. I know my rig.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Underneath and it was broken.
Wow, that's major, yeah.
So we were stuck at the rest area. Somebody came down. We found one, thank God, a mobile welder.
Did you have to have it? Oh, a mobile welder, wow.
Yeah, he actually raised the tires up, got it aligned as best as he could, and it was a quick fix. It wasn't like 110%, but it got us to the actual place that we had an actual fix done.
Right, wow.
They did it. That was a miserable day because we had to sit in hot, dusty weather for like 8 hours, waiting for this to be done. But they fixed it for us so that we can get home. But then on the way home, another one happened.
Wow.
Because it weakened the other one when that one broke. It weakened the other one, so you get those bumps. And the other one broke. So I always check that stuff.
Remember what I said earlier? It was this close of being a lemon? Now you have the idea.
Yeah, you've had a lot of mishaps, yeah. And you bought it new.
We've learned a lot.
But you bought it new.
This one was our brand new one. The other two were used.
Brand new. It was in the showroom.
It was right there on the showroom.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that out of a new trailer.
Right.
No, we weren't expecting problems, but nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, well, and what good's a warranty, if you have to use it all the time? It's like, we don't want to have to use a warranty all the time,
That's another thing too, like say for instance, you just need one of you're under warranty, so you're going to make sure you replace everything. I have water condensation in the lights in the back of our rig. So the guy said he'll order it because he was a mobile person coming out to fix other things. Like we had a leak on the onion and stuff like that. He says, I'll order it. He says, just contact me in a couple of weeks. We should get it in a couple of weeks. We call him, make an appointment because we're on time here. You only got 2 years, right? And the part was never ordered. And I'm going, well, what's as good as a warranty when they won't even order the part and you're using up my time?
Yeah.
That's
because
frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Problems.
Your first trailer had a bunch of problems on axles, Galleon? Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. But now everything's perfect because we found this was the hardest part. If anything does happen, you have to look for something that works with semi trucks. When you have a big rig like us, we happened to find one, and they almost didn't do it. They said that they don't do warranty work and stuff. But we got the warranty. The people from Jayco, basically called them up and begged them, please fix these people's rig, because they couldn't travel, they couldn't move, So they actually did. Oh my God, it runs much better now because they lifted the whole entire thing and repaired the whole thing. The whole thing.
I like having a good warranty. I just hope I don't ever need it.
Yes. Let's hope not.
It's the most inopportune times that those kind of, then you're just like, oh man. So yeah.
One thing that we have learned along the way is not to get too worried about it. Somebody will fix it and we'll just keep on going.
Yeah,
Right.
just deal with it.
Right, that's
Cope with
it. Yeah, you just can't. There's freaking out does no good. It's here. We got to deal with it. Let's just deal with it and move on. And that's just the best
Oh, my
But no, mini me. Don't let it scare you. The thing is, about these.
No, we're
Listen to
just trying to be real. This is what you need to check.
right,
right.
right.
You know,
Exactly.
we're helping people to make sure you check this.
Just
That's
don't forget this stuff is what we're trying to tell
Yeah,
people
it's
here.
what-
We don't want because, like I said, we drove all the way from South Florida to Portland, Oregon, and back through the desert, over the mountains, along the beach, and you know,
We didn't have any problems.
we had no problems. But a lot of it, I credit to YouTube. But we did a lot of research. We watched, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And like Renee was saying, I checked those lug nuts.
Yeah.
Because I had seen that online. I got back and I put the trailer. I never thought to pack the bearings on the trailer, but after seeing that, sure enough, I put it in the shop and had, it's just the thing is to take care of it and just,
Do your preventative maintenance.
like you're saying here, you learn and it becomes second
We're
nature.
just letting you know
Right.
by experience. That's all.
A welding job that's 4 or 5 inches long is not going to break on one shot. It's kind of a periodic thing. Had I checked on it, I would have noticed it, and we wouldn't have gotten to that point. That's
Right.
the point of checking those things.
Right.
You can learn.
Exactly. Or like a torque wrench, it may have just loosened a little bit, not enough to even notice it, but just that little extra torque was all that you needed.
Hi, Justin. I know you're in here telling me you need your shirt. You need to bring your dirty clothes down. Can you grab the basket in the closet and upstairs? My son needs his clothes washed. I know that's what he's here, and he's on his phone upstairs, and he's probably saying, "Hello, I'm here. I need help." You just grab the basket in our closet, and I'll wash your shirts for you.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we're about.
We were trying to do this interview outside. We were gonna have a backdrop of the Gulf of Mexico and palm trees and all that, but it was just too windy and it was making too much noise, so we couldn't do it. So here we are in the trailer. But what a beautiful day we're having here.
Thank you so much for doing this because I've had so much fun talking with y'all.
Oh, it
nice
was a lot of fun, and we thank everyone for coming out here too to watch.
Definitely, and definitely give us a call. You got my number. Give us a call when you're going to be in Orlando. We would love to have dinner with y'all.
All right, sounds
We
good.
love it.
We're going to go ahead and sign out now. We want to go down to the water and check things out. But thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Welcome.
Y'all.
Bye, everybody, and thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, we have to go, and I will talk to you later. I got a little work to do and stuff. I got to take my son to a wedding. So y'all have a great day. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Bye.